Here in these problems, we have to understand how does these functions behave when t is tending to infinity or r is tending to infinity. If you notice, there is a sin t here and there is a cos t here. And sin t and cos t, they always lie between -1 and 1, whatever the t is. T is 100, 1000, 10,000, it doesn't matter. They'll always lie between -1 and 1. And when t becomes big, this 2 and this sin t will become insignificant. Let's say, for example, t is 1000 or 10,000, sin t will still be -1 or 1, within -1 and 1, and 2 is still 2. So, this one, if t is 1000, -1000, plus or minus 2 plus 1, 2 minus 1, within this range. Similarly, the denominator also 1000 plus or minus 1. Right, as t becomes big, these terms, this 2, this sin t, this cos t, they become insignificant. Right. So ultimately, what will be left? It is a matter of the computation is between this minus t and this t only. So we can directly say this limit t tends to infinity is minus t by t, which is equal to -1. Okay, we'll show this algebraically also. How do we show this? Okay. Similarly, r tends to infinity here also. This sin r, these are very insignificant. Right, plus or minus 1, here plus or minus 5. This 7 is also very, very small. Nothing, it doesn't matter in the large scheme of the things, when r is very, very big, this 7 is nothing. So what are the significant terms here? This r and this 2r. So this limit will tend to 1 by 2. How do we show these two algebraically? It is like this. We'll say we'll divide both the numerator and denominator by t. Then this becomes 2 by t minus 1 plus sin t by t plus 1 t by t, which is 1, plus cos t by t. Again, t tends to infinity. So this tends to 0, this tends to 0, this tends to 0. We'll say it is -1. Similarly, here also we'll divide numerator and denominator by r. We'll get 1 plus sin r by r. Here, this r will get cancelled. 7 by r will be left minus 5 sin r. Right, 5 sin r by r again. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. We'll be left with 1 by 2. Basically, the coefficients of 1r and 2r. Here also the coefficients of minus t and plus t. Okay, please note sin t by t. Sin theta by theta, when theta tends to 0, this is equal to 1. We know this, right? We have seen the graph also. The graph will approach towards 1, but there will be a hole here. Right, at 1 it is not defined. But whereas sin theta by theta, when theta approaches infinity, what does that mean? Sin theta is always in this range and the denominator keeps increasing. The denominator keeps increasing. So the graph will become smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller, and it will keep approaching this x-axis. It will become smaller and smaller. Okay, because originally sin theta will always be in the range, and when you are increasing the denominator, so this width keeps getting smaller and smaller. So in the end, it will approach x-axis only. Similarly, cos x by x also, cos theta by theta. Right, please note the difference. With theta tends to infinity, sin theta by theta or cos theta by theta, both of them, they approach 0. Right, guys? Thank you.